Under public pressure, Pakistan's newly elected government has started the legal process to prosecute former strongman and key U.S. ally, General Pervez Musharraf. But putting the former Army chief and U.S. ally on trial for treason could create a whole new set of dangerous problems. Arise News' Javed Rana has more from Islamabad.
The Taliban have threatened to assassinate former military dictator General Pervez Musharraf for making Pakistan an ally of the U.S. in war on terror after 9/11.
Pervez Musharraf, you can see this death squad around me. We will hit you from where you would never reckon.
The government has tightened the security around his farmhouse residence. But a more urgent worry for Musharraf is a high treason trial the new government in Islamabad has proceeded against him. The government has petitioned the Supreme Court to set up a 3-member special panel to hold Musharraf accountable for staging a coup in 2007 and trying to block the constitutional judiciary that he feared could have disqualified him from running for public office.
So एक बदतरीन बाब है हमारी तारीख का.
General Musharraf's dictatorial regime was the worst chapter in the history of Pakistan. Therefore, he has to be held accountable not only before the nation but also before the constitution he suspended.
If convicted now, Musharraf, once the most powerful man in southern Asia, could be put to death.
I think this is going to be a very strong and effective message to the military and America that in Pakistan, if people can come out to restore a constitutional chief justice, people can also come out to defend the constitution, even if it takes to hang a general or to imprison others. So I think this is going to be a very solid message. And this is a message we Pakistanis must give. We are at the crossroads now, and we have to pick up paths.
The army overthrew elected governments 5 times since Pakistan gained independence from Britain in 1947. General Musharraf twice staged military coups, first in 1999 when he overthrew democratically elected government of Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif, who returned to power just 6 months ago. It is unprecedented in the history of Pakistan to try a former military ruler on high treason charges. In a country mostly ruled by the military generals, a trial is likely to cause resentment among military generals who do not want their former chief to be publicly disgraced. But newly elected government believes that only way to prevent future coup is to make an example out of Musharraf. Javed Rana, Arise News, Islamabad.
For more on the situation, we invited Moeed Yusuf, a fellow at the U.S. Institute of Peace, to join us, and he is on the phone from Washington, D.C. Moeed, welcome to Arise America. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
I want to talk about a couple of aspects of this decision to try Musharraf for treason, the social aspect as well as the political aspect, and where Javed left off, and that is the political aspect as it relates to the military response to this decision. What are the ramifications politically for Sharif?
Well, I think it's difficult to say. There was a split opinion among experts whether the government would go for this move or not. But remember, there's a very strong personal vendetta here as well. Musharraf ousted this very Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif in 1999. So that may be playing into this. But I find that most people believe that the case will be put out, there will be a trial proceeding, but this is one of those that is very unclear how quickly it can move, where it can go, and whether there are enough charges to make it stick, because there are a number of other individuals involved, a lot of interests, and there's also a question of what happened when Musharraf ruled and whether all of that remains null and void if he is tried in the way he is. So, number of question marks here, but a bold move by the government and laying out the script to say that they are not going to let him loose lightly.
Yeah, and we can't forget about, there's no indication, it has not been reported that this is personal anyway, but we can't forget about the fact that Musharraf actually put Sharif out of office in the coup, so that's got to have some role in it.
Look, I mean, certainly this is not personal. Of course, it's a constitutional issue, but I think the point is that it was, after all, Sharif, as you're saying, and it's very clear that the two parties have not mended fences since that day. Musharraf came back out of his own will, and many people thought that was a bad decision on his part. But to give Nawaz Sharif credit, he's never said that he will not try him or that there will be any leniency just because this is a former army chief and a president. So in some ways, I think he's in the clear, but still it's a very bold move and it's unprecedented.
And let's talk about the social ramifications, Moeed. I mean, there's already seemingly increasing sectarian violence there. How will putting Musharraf on trial affect it and I'm assuming exacerbate it?
No, I think it's not going to. Musharraf, he has still some following in the upper middle class and in the elite. The militants absolutely hate him, as your report just talked about. The courts have no love lost for him because the current Chief Justice is also the person that he ousted when he imposed a state of emergency, and before that in the judicial sort of makeover. So he has not many friends right now in the establishment, if you will, and I don't see the military being in a position to stick up for him either. I think there's a split view even within the military where some say that, by going political and politicizing the military and taking the reins of the country, he actually did the military no service. And so I don't see a direct link with violence in Pakistan, but I certainly do find the political contours to be intriguing, interesting, and perhaps troubling at some point.
And some have made a little bit about the timing of this announcement. What do you make of it?
Well, I think the process was underway for a while, but yes, whether coincidentally or by design, Musharraf has been given bail and has given a security bond, which means he's technically a free man at this point. He's still not allowed to leave Pakistan, but all cases that were pending against him, he's on bail from. And so, this being put out and a new spanner in the works, and perhaps the most important one, some people are reading into this timing as not being coincidental. But at the end of the day, I think it hardly matters. Everybody knows that there are interests who don't want him to go scot-free and to make an example of him, and perhaps that's what you're seeing here a little bit through the constitutional mechanism.
Plenty more to talk about at another time. Moeed Yusuf, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
And you're watching Arise America.